Okay.
This may be jarring news, but
It
the
is
shock and
pulling
awe
my
are in danger
nose
of being eliminated from
when
the
I'm
tournament.
talking. The song unironically reminded me to make my student loan payment. We got it. Wait till my predictions, bro. We got to talk about student loans. I've been reading a lot about student loans, bro. None of you are making your fucking payments. You guys aren't making your payments. Holy moly. You guys are not making your payments, bro. Straight up. You're not doing it. You guys are skipping. Ooh, we got to talk about it. 16th? No, I think it's the 17th. I believe my prediction stream will be 1 week from today. I believe that is the
Okay, there's a new event coming up.
But it's going to be exactly 1 year from the last prediction, so whenever that was. Anyway, I've been working on it every day. I feel good about it. Okay, guys, without further ado, I'm going to check out the Reddit real quick, and then we're going to jump into Marketing Monday. There's a lot of things in the Reddit that I want to see. It'll be very quick. It'll be a quick Reddit download. Because a lot of them are stupid. Like, go ahead and get your glizzy on. Which I already got tagged in like 50 times on Twitter, okay? I don't need this. There's a guy saying glizz up as he's eating a Costco hot dog. It's amazing. There's a guy drawing. That's pretty good. That's actually pretty sick. There's happy part of the Glazed Trioc fan page, and it's just my face on Fizz, which I guess is fine. I'll give it up for. There's Trioc's famous week of 8 off, 10 out of 10 string on a partner. I think the story I told about Rudolf Hess was actually fascinating yesterday. And I think if you didn't see it, you should go into it. It's one of the most interesting stories about World War II I've ever heard. Okay? I think it's fascinating.
Cash out Station A.
This is a real Instagram account of a Chinese silverware factory where the boss posts how good or bad her employees perform. Like, she walks around and that's actually kind of hype. I should do that with my editors, bro. Something killed Neg Neg, Atrioc animated. Clip of you killing Neg Neg from a Spectacor's perspective? Wait, let me see this.
No, you're right. You're right.
He's probably just scared about something. Hey!
Well, you can hit people with that.
Oh, yeah?
Really?
Ow! This would be a perfect time to have equipped a defibrillator. Adversity for the overdogs. Wipeout.
Spectacore!
A minute still remaining. Let's see what they make of it.
Spectacore! Something killed Neg Neg. That's so psychotic. Who did that? That's amazing. Wait, that is TJT Lee? Bro, that's fucking heat. That should have like 1 million of us. Way better than fucking get your whiz on. Thank you for making that. That's if you ever want to work, with us at the YouTube team, reach out, dude. We can always use that in a video. A Marketing Monday can use it. We can always use animation anytime. A Hitman video could use it, dude. Anytime. Would love to pay you money and work with you.
And with that.
Okay, that's all. The rest of it is all it is. So remember, Big A Awards this Saturday at 6 p.m. Oh, there's my Fizz guide. Too wholesome, I can't. And it's from 10 years ago. Bojangles the Craze said this is the best Fizz guide I've ever seen. Atrioc's ultimate guide to Fizz is phenomenal. I can't believe it hasn't been posted before, but anyway, here it is. Thank you, Bojangles the Craze. You actually got me a lot of traffic. It was great. It's actually hit #1 on our summer.
The shock and awe are back in play.
Full image. Yeah.
We still have 30 seconds remaining.
I would highly recommend this guide to anyone thinking of picking up Fizz. I had no interest in playing the Fizz until I saw this guide. You know what? It still holds up today. Oh, what did I say? Hi guys, really glad you seem to like the guide. It holds a special place in my heart. It took a ton of time to make. I teach myself the CSS, HTML, and video editing from scratch. And I played through the Diamond 1. Diamond 1, by the way, was the highest back then. Non-stop for like a month to make sure what I was saying was useful and true. I really want to update it for season 4, but I actually got a job at Twitch where I'm now working full time. If you want to see the visit action, wait, did I say? In part due to some of the connections I made from the guide himself. That's fucking lie. No shot did this guide help me get hired at Twitch. I tell you that right now. That's a fucking dead lie. That didn't happen one iota. No shots. No way. Anyway, all right. Well, cool. Yeah, it's very wholesome. It was. I mean, I will say. I mean, I don't know how I can make this understandable. Getting that job at Twitch when I was fucking struggling to make League of Legends content for paying by the word for Machinima and for Team Liquid was like the biggest come up I'd ever had. And I ran around my house celebrating, and like it was like the happiest moment of my life, probably of my whole life. That, which is like kind of sad because like just getting a job, but it was like the biggest fucking come up that I ever had. I'm married. You know what's funny? And I'm just being dead honest. You know, we dated for a very long time. Obviously, my wedding's a beautiful day, but like, I had never had any uncertainty that I was going to spend the rest of my life with Ari. We've been dating for a very long time. I love that woman. So like the wedding day is almost to me like a really beautiful capstone to a you know, a relationship. Like you know what I'm saying? But I had so much uncertainty over whether or not I'd be able to like make any money. Like have a stability. No, don't tell me. Don't tell me what to say. I'm saying exactly what I mean. I'm telling you exactly what I mean. Don't try to fucking. You guys. Wait. What am I gonna say? Shut the fuck up, you parasocial freaks! No. You think my wife's gonna walk in here and go, no, what? You were happy. You were so happy you got your job. Shut the fuck up, little bro. I'm being for real. Okay, I was stressed. I was stressed every day that I wasn't gonna be able to get like a fucking job in the industry I wanted to work in, and my dad was yelling at me, and I was like, you better go fucking work at Costco, buddy. And I finally got that job at Twitch, and I got that call, and it was fucking huge, and it was the most single surprisingly happy moment. Yeah, I wasn't surprised at my wedding, bro. We've been dating for fucking 8 years before that. Shut the fuck up. Don't try to fucking. Where? I forgot what I was doing. You guys threw me off. You threw me off. Oh, Isto's video. The unluckiest man on earth. Let's see.
Car crashes, 4 broken ribs, broke my arm.
What?
7 car crashes, 4 broken ribs, broke my arms. 7 car crashes, 4 broken ribs, broke my arms 4 times. Just crazy. The 2006 Rocky Mountain train crash on that balloon accident. The first case of unprompted scurvy in 100 years. Lost most of my bottom teeth on that one.
What?
And I've been caught in 2 house fires. My name is Steven, and I'm the unluckiest man on earth.
Contestants will enjoy great visibility as they strive for fame in the arena.
I had a mostly normal childhood. In my teens, it was a switch foot. I remember my first car crash. I was 16. Head-on collision. I was in the hospital for 3 weeks. The guy was drunk. He crossed the road and drove into a parking lot and hit me while I was parked. In fact, 5 out of the 7 crashes I've been in, I've been parked. It's honestly gotten worse since I've gotten older. In recent years, my unluck has started to affect the people around me, people I love.
Oh,
My
no.
brother, who's an avid athlete, was out running one day and slipped and fell on a patch of ice into a bush and hit a needle that was filled with fentanyl. The doctor said it was statistically nearly impossible to have the veins be hit by the needle in the perfect way, but, well, he's been in and out of rehab ever since. And since I'm the only family he has left, it's been quite tough.
What happened to the rest of your family?
The hot air balloon accident. It was a family reunion. Aunts, uncles, cousins, pets. I'll never forget the screams when we tried to put out the fire.
Why
They
would
said
you
I was lucky I missed it because I was picking up my brother from rehab.
That'll be a shock to their system.
I don't know. They also say that God gives its toughest battles to the strongest soldiers.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just doesn't feel like things go my way at all.
Right.
People are now calling you the luckiest man alive.
Why is that?
To be honest, I don't think there was anything on Earth that could balance out the hand I've been dealt, but I guess the universe somehow always finds a way. Because 3 days ago I won. I won big.
Wow.
In fact, some might say I won bigger than big. Because I won a free ticket to the Big A Awards.
Holy shit! His life is back on track! It's back on track! And it's a good ad, too? Have they been paying attention? Big A Awards this Saturday! Voting closes in the next 2 days. Get your votes in. bigawards.live/vote. Check it out. Vote. What's cool about it is I know as much or less than you. I don't know anything about what's gonna happen in these awards. They're gonna like stream it to me on my channel, and I will be live react. But I am not. I have no. I don't know what they spent the money on. I don't know anything. I don't know anything. But I do know that we are gonna have some awards, and I'm excited for you to see them, and you get to vote. So there should be some. I heard there's yarn. I heard a lot of yarn has been purchased. What are you wearing to the awards? I am going to wear my nicest Jeff Winger. That way you know I mean business.
This could be a chance for them to get on our
Check that out.
highlight reel.
Pretty cool. Is there any other video I need to watch before we start the Marketing Monday? Lots of yarn, but one more. Okay, here it is.
Just stole one.
This is behind the scenes planning the Big A Awards.
You are watching Aiden and Braden.
But Atrium's watching House.
Cash out goes to the top shells. Let's see whether they can keep that momentum going.
Okay. Promotions for the Big A Awards straight in. Shows in 3 days. You've been working on some stuff. Let's see what you got.
Yeah. Number 1, shoot the host with a gun.
Sorry.
Drive 5 hours to the middle of nowhere with a stranger you know barely, and make a short film Scorsese would be proud to call his own.
You've already done it, and it was a terrible idea then. I don't think that's gonna work.
Number 2, the content comes from you.
What does that mean? Are you counting?
If the streamer won't promote the vote, we have to get out there and tell people to watch ourselves. Pull me up by my bootstraps and make some Reddit posts. Marketing Monday. How about marketing every day, okay?
How much effort did you put into these? Are you reading? Did you write these down?
Number 3, get away from me.
Posting the show together, Brayden. That's not gonna work.
Yo, gotta get to the show 3 days early. That's what I know.
Have you been rhyming in the responses the whole time?
Number 4, lock the door.
That's what you're talking about. What door?
When you're there on the day and you're watching the show, you don't want anyone IRL to know. Turn off the lights and turn on the screen. It's time to watch with ads in between.
True. Just a little pause. On Saturday, don't let your parents come in and see you watching the Big A Awards. Don't let your family. Just make sure that door is locked. Okay? You gotta lock this down.
What are you saying? I think we've completely lost the thread. I don't know.
Number 5, go for a drive.
Where did you get that?
Ain't she a beaut? Yeah, so get in your car, go real far, maybe to Twitch or Nvidia even. Show up to his house and say hi. I'm Steven.
Don't do that.
Your name's Braden, and please don't show up to anybody's
obviously
house claiming
don't do
to
that.
be Steven.
Number 6,
Don't do that.
we want those clicks.
Is that an Xbox control? Nobody's watching this on their Xbox.
My mental health may go down and spiral.
I just want you guys to know that, like, I think I'm pretty chill as a streamer. That, like, some of our running jokes here are that we should shoot me with a gun and show up to my house. Can I just say, like, I'm chill about that. Like, I'm pretty cool that we're having this running bit here.
We're gonna go trending and viral. Next year we'll get a higher budget. All you gotta do is tune in and watch it.
You okay, man? Is there something you want to talk about here?
Number
Kevin.
7.
Get some practice for any
A heart named
possible
Kevin. That's right, we did it. We got
involving
Kevin Hart, man.
giant
He's probably got some friends. You can connect us to Dwayne.
Okay, we didn't get Kevin.
You guys got Kevin Hart? That's awesome.
What if we start a cult?
Yeah, that could work.
Yeah!
All right.
York. When you eat your Smarties, you eat the red ones.
Scissors, sizzle, scissors, sizzle.
That's good. That is good stuff. Unique New York. All right, well, check it out. Check it out. The Big Awards this Saturday. That was very funny by the team. Who's the guy with Braden? Braden and who? I'm sorry. I didn't want to thank them. Braden and
That's a cash out by the shock and awe.
what was the other guy's name? I got Aiden. Braden and Aiden, dude.
Oh, look, a new vault is ready to be
Sorry.
opened.
My bad. Jake and Amir. And Kevin Hart confirmed to be there. Kevin Hart confirmed to be there. Oh, Steven. Braden and Steven. I'm sorry, Steven. All right. Okay. I met Braden IRL. I haven't met you yet. Okay. We'll get there. No. What's Braden and Aiden? Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, to dip your steak sauce in,
The shock and awe are examining the contents of a vault.
you guys always do the same thing every time I say that. You ever heard of?
1 minute warning. This 1 minute warning was brought to you by
You never heard of this?
Osmosis.
Oh wait, I lost it. You never heard of this? You never. You never heard of this? French dip. You never had a French dip sandwich?
The tough shells completed a cash
It's
out.
good. It's tasty. We're gonna get into Marketing Monday, which, but you know, is a labor of mine really, but it requires a small effort on your part. You know, the snowball rolls on its own, but you have to start pushing it down the hill to get it started. And all it does is requires you to look at your screen, analyze what you're seeing, and then when you see the part that matches you, you just say me. It's really that simple. You
Unbelievable determination from the competitors. The tough shells look solid all the way through this match. They grab the top spot and are moving on to the next round.
Today, I want to talk to you about one big topic and 3 simple letters. The big topic is big oil, and the 3 letters are ESG. It stands for Environmental Social Governance, and it's a pretty divisive set of letters. Everyone has a lot of interesting opinions on ESG. But let me give you some background. Let me understand what's going on, what ESG really is and what that means. Oh, it's kind of ESG. It's hated by people on the left and the right for different reasons. But so here's some background, okay? So, the basic idea is that people want to invest in companies. Some people out there want to invest in companies that are doing things that are good for the environment or good for society or are, you know, properly run. They're not pouring toxic waste in the rivers or whatever. You know, whatever. That's the idea. Some people want to invest in those companies. That's the original idea of ESG, okay? And so, over the past, let's say, 8 years, investors started pouring a lot of money into funds that were designed to put money in ESG stocks. Stocks that, for some reason or other, are categorized as beneficiary to environmental social governance, okay? So $142 billion in the fourth quarter of last year, $2.7 trillion across more than 5,900 ESG funds, okay? A lot of people all over the world, a lot of which are in Europe, want to invest in companies that are changing the world positively in these categories. Again, much of the asset flow comes from regular people, retail investors. It's like people like, you know, random people off the street who have savings, and when they want to invest for the future, they want to put it in companies that are also doing something good. That's the idea. Okay? When there's that much money from regular people that is chasing something, the big Wall Street banks will step in to fill that demand. So JP Morgan Chase realized a lot of people wanted to put their money in ESG stuff. And so they started repurposing their old funds into ESG. They started making their own ESG funds and you could put your money into. Here's what I did. This is JP Morgan's website where you can invest in all of these ESG funds, and they make sure that they're best in class and they're thematic towards saving the environment and they have good impact. And if you have money, give it to JP Morgan and they're going to put it towards ESG projects. Okay, that's the idea. On the other side of the globe, there's a company called Saudi Aramco. It is the largest oil company by revenue in the world. It's the largest company by revenue in the world, actually, raw revenue. They're like the state-sponsored Saudi oil company, okay? This is them now. As you can tell, they're not exactly very environmentally friendly. In fact, not only do they pollute a lot, but they lie about how much they pollute. They consistently try to undercut and lie about how much they pollute, okay? So you'd think in the world that these two things would be ships in the night. Never the twain shall meet. They're not going to cross paths, right? Because this is a fund of regular people trusting a bank to put their money in towards environmental causes, and this is the world's largest oil company. Right. But JP Morgan Chase noticed one thing. When you survey your customers who give you money to put into ESG funds, the number one thing they want is a high rate of return. Basically, people say, hey, I'm going to give you my money. I want that money to grow. Right below that, I want the money to go to good causes. I want money back, but I also want to go to good causes. You have to do both. That's basically what they're saying, okay? Which makes sense. You don't give the money to a fund to lose money. You want it to grow. So most important thing is it's got to grow. Well, it turns out that investing in things that have high social impact and a high rate of return is possible, but it's hard. Okay? Solar companies, a lot of them lose money, go out of business. Wind companies, a lot of them lose money, go out of business. This is like you're putting a lot of effort on JP Morgan Chase's part to find the gems, to find the companies that are really going to grow. It's a pain in the ass. You know what companies are always growing and always making lots of money and are easy to invest in? Saudi Aramco. Oil and gas companies. Okay, Saudi Aramco has a $161 billion profit recently, the largest ever recorded by an oil and gas firm. That's almost a sure bet. Okay, everything they drill, they sell. It's great. It's a profit center, and so they do a little bit of trickery. Now this looks pretty complicated. I simplified it. It's basically the TF2 spy. They do a little bit of trickery, and all of a sudden, Saudi Aramco has a subsidiary that only owns Saudi Aramco debt called Green Safe Pipelines. But the only asset of Green Safe Pipelines is just Saudi Aramco debt for new pipelines. So it's essentially a shell company. But what's great is all this company does is own bonds of Saudi Aramco, so it has 0% emissions. Green Safe Pipelines, which is a holding company that has no employees, no carbon footprints, 0% emissions to those pieces of paper that is debt for another company. And so suddenly you've managed to package up a pretty nice little eco fund that is not so ecologically sustainable. And this allows people to invest in the ESG funds thinking they're doing something good, while at the same time basically funding Saudi Aramco to build a new pipeline, but making good money in return, so they're happy with it. And that is sort of the win-win for JP Morgan Chase. The only person that doesn't win are people that are actually concerned with the environment. They are mad. So you'll notice everyone, the people that are unhappy here, people that care about the environment, they're unhappy because it's not going to their cause. People that hate ESG because they think it's woke are also unhappy. The only ones that are actually happy are the people in the middle on Wall Street who are playing both sides to make a lot of money, which is interesting. And that's a theme you might see come up a couple times. Might see come up a couple times. But I want to get to a larger topic of big oil, okay? Because I got to get in the big win. Big oil has realized that everybody wants their product, but nobody wants to want their product. They've realized they have what you might call a marketing problem. When you spill 88,000 gallons of oil into the Gulf recently, people get mad at you. And you're like, well, but they want the oil, and they want me to get it to them. What do? It's a marketing problem. When they have astonishingly high pollution in global south countries, okay? Everyone doesn't want to see that, but they still want the oil. How do they get around it? And so Shell has figured out a solution, and this is their first big win. Gamers and influencers. Gamers and influencers. This is how Shell is going to turn it all around. Forget trying to cut emissions. Forget trying to change their business. Let's get gamers and influencers to boost our image among the youth. They're hiring a full-time TikTok channel manager whose goal in the description of the job is to make it one of the biggest and most active accounts on TikTok. That is an impossibility. That job is an impossibility. But they've already started. They've found some influencers.
I am Sager.
Like surfer Sage Erickson. She has many environmentally friendly, save the ocean type TikToks. And for some reason took Shell's money for this ad where she says absolutely nothing about Shell.
Me to compete to go for the title at the US Open of Surfing was the everlasting feeling of wanting to be better than I ever thought I was. I think when I was younger, I struggled with self-belief in what I was capable of.
What's funny is I don't even super blame her because this ad is such a waste of money on their part. She doesn't say one thing about Shell the whole time. They just gave her a bunch of money and then slapped the logo on this video.
Career became established. I grew stronger and stronger in my self-confidence. For me, having that competitive drive, it was so important to get a big
stealing
result
Shell's money.
because it would affirm all that hard work I'd put in over the years. I always dreamed of being that strong female that was an amazing role model. To see myself in these shoes, in that position, was so affirming as a person.
I am Sager. I'm fueled by the ocean, and I am performance unbound.
What does that have to do with Shell? They just threw a logo on it so some marketing guy at Shell can say there was views. Anyway, obviously that was only step one of their plan. Step two, you have to get the real gamers, because the gamers run the internet now. And so they invented something even better. Ultimate road trips, Shell V-Power Nitro in Fortnite! That's what I'm talking about, baby! Suddenly oil's cool, okay? Check this out. oil is back, baby. Wow, that is awesome. Surely the youth no longer will care about emissions. And I'm using Shell examples the most because they spend the most. Shell by far has jumped in this trend the most of spending on TikTok and Twitch to try and influence the young into believing that they are, I don't know, cooler or better than they are. Chevron, though, had a pit stop at the last TwitchCon. Relax, recharge, and get rewarded when you make a trip to the Chevron Desert Pit Stop. And you might be wondering why the hell that's there. And that's because they are trying, you know, as best as they can to turn their money into positive opinion among young people on the internet. I don't know how effective any of this was. To me, this all feels like a big waste of money, but they have money to spend. I do other things that I clearly start remembering. This is one of my favorite examples. I was looking at examples. One of my favorite examples. This is, I believe Chevron goes under a different name in Asia, and this is like their Southeast Asia. It's like Philippines. This is their TikTok challenge where they ask people to do a rap with one certain line about them in there, and you could win prizes. This is the line. Let's see. See if you can spot the line that had to be included in this rap. I do all the things that I like to. I might just hit up a drive-through, running through the city with my crew. If you wanna ride, then alright, cool. Soon as my tank hit 3/4 or less, I'ma hit up the station at Caltex. Popping my beats in my pickup, called out a bump on the road, that's a hiccup. I be to the whip and take around me, feeling like a young rocky freaking prodigy. I will never settle for a level that is lower than the level of the dribble. When my cutter hit the metal line, vroom, vroom. Get a load of this, unstoppable journey, I can give you a lift. I ain't been out in a minute, and now I'm in it to win it, and I'ma live to my limit again and again and again, yes sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, so you just had to say, as soon as my tank hit 3/4 or less, I'm going to go fill up at Caltex. And, yeah, that's it. And you can use the hashtag Caltex Unstoppable Star, and they could make some money here. This was one of their attempts, and I think all of these attempts seem pretty cringy to me, but maybe it's working. But here's the larger problem. Again, this is all over the summer and late last year they did this marketing campaign. At first it's like, okay, they're not getting people to like them. Who cares? At the end of the day, you're making money, nobody likes you. But now, finally, the fact that the vast majority of young people hate the fossil fuel industry is finally catching up to them because they can't get employees. Petroleum engineering graduates continue to decline and is now at such a low level that they cannot find engineers to join their jobs. People are, the era of high salaries is no longer enough. They're having a talent crisis where the money is just simply not enough because people are either worried about the environmental impact or that the jobs won't be around in 10, 20 years. So it's a bad industry to get into. So people are understandably nervous. And so now this is sort of a moment of desperation. Now they actually need the talent. So this stuff won't cut it. They need to put their money in more concrete efforts. And that's why they're now doing $700 million to fund research at current universities. And then more interestingly, this old guy is trying to create his own university that is like greenwashing the idea of being a petroleum engineer. It's like the University for Environmental Sustainability Engineering, but it's just rebranding the title of petroleum engineer to like sustainability resource. It's the same course with a different name so that somebody could join this job but then tell all their friends they're a sustainability engineer at Chevron or something.
The match is starting to heat up.
What a win! I love that all of their solutions involve like repackaging and rebranding and marketing rather than any actual change. That's awesome! Big dub! Speaking of a company going through some marketing times, let's talk some bad marketing times. Let's talk about Boeing! You may have seen this in the news, but one of the Boeing planes had the door plug rip off during flight. While people were in flight, this thing ripped out and caused a bit of a scare. This is gone. The stock did not respond well to this bit of news, especially as inspections of other similar planes found other like loose bolts and things like that, just bad quality control. But the question that I found interesting from social media and Wall Street Bets was, would it be considered insider trading if you were on the plane while the door blows out and everyone is screaming and you turn on your noise-canceling headphones, ignore them, pull up your phone and load up on Boeing kits? Is that insider trading? You're inside the plane. The answer, interestingly, is no, it's not. In fact, there is a example in the trainings they'll give you about insider trading, is that if a plane crashes in your backyard and you trade on that, that's fine. That's allowed. It's not insider trading. If you go to Chipotle and you eat a nasty meal, you can trade on that. That is time and place information. That is fine. It's available. So theoretically, if you were to take a bunch of Boeing or airline flights and one of them fails, remember, on the way down, buy puts. At least your family will get some money. But just to zoom out a little bit on the subject of Boeing, people are often asking what the hell's going on over there. And I saw a big spat on social media again saying it was because of DEI. We have a lot of three-word acronyms today. Diversity, education, and inclusion, I think is the idea. The idea is that they got, non-white engineers. Equity, and inclusion. They got non-white engineers, and that's why they're failing. And I think, if you look more into it, the failures at Boeing have been going on for a very long time. And again, it seems like the real culprit, if you go back to the beginning, is this 1997 merger where the company went from being ran by the engineers, where they had power and equity and stake and say, to being ran by finance, the finance team and the people with ties to Wall Street. Once the financial side of the company had full control, they started cutting costs, cutting quality control, outsourcing, and the quality steadily declined until we got today. Again, there's a great example that back in the first Boeing 777, they would have all of the heads of software engineering on the test flights. That means whenever the flights would, there was one where the plane started shaking while they were flying it, and they fixed it while they were flying. If you are the head of software engineering and you're on the test flight, you're gonna make fucking sure that your team got it right. Because that's fucking skin in the game. That means you are included. Nowadays, they outsource it to $9 an hour engineers in Indonesia.
Go after Cashbox 4.
It's completely outsourced to save money. Nobody from the executive staff is on the flight. So you understand the difference. You understand that, that seems to be more of the problem than DEI. It just seems like, and again, much like my earlier example of the ESG, there's people on both sides that are mad, and the only people winning are the Wall Street guy in the middle who is walking all the way to the bank. So it's interesting. But speaking of people that are not winning, and I have to give a fail here, a direct, honest fail, because people I know were impacted. Let's talk about Twitch. In the past week, an update went up on the Twitch blog called A Difficult Update About Our Workforce. This is a direct blog from CEO Dan Clancy about how they're laying off 500 plus people, many of whom I knew and worked with when I was at Twitch. Out of the blue, this is 1/3 of the company, right at the beginning of January. And what was crazy is that these people found out they were being fired from this blog post. In fact, they found out about it from the leak of this blog post the day before. And I was hearing from actual people that work at Twitch that everyone there was freaking out when this stuff leaked because they didn't know if they'd have a job. This is crazy. This is an awful way to let 1/3 of your workforce know they're just going to not be out of a job. The morale there has to be absolutely shit. I do give Dan Clancy credit for what he's done recently to improve streamer to company morale. For a long time, under the last CEO, streamers felt like they had no connection at all to the management of Twitch. Dan Clancy has helped close that. But I can't imagine, so he's improved morale among streamers somewhat. He has not improved morale among employees of that company. That has got to be insane. There's got to be insanely bad morale there. I can only imagine what people are left there or going through. I feel really bad for them. And I want to explain a little bit why this is going on from the outside. Because you might be thinking, Twitch seems to be doing fine. Why are they laying off a third of their company? Here's the deal. I talked to Jarvis about this. This is me and Jarvis talking about earlier today. Let me explain what sort of I summarized in this article. The Eye of Sauron, that is Amazon, looks at all the companies it owns with a burning gaze. Okay? Now, it's not actually Jeff Bezos anymore, but they look upon all the companies they own with a burning gaze. And they want to see one of two things. Either there's massive user growth, and then you're allowed to have low profits. If Twitch was growing rapidly, and there was, you know, millions more views every quarter, and everything was getting bigger, they're like, okay, we can figure out profitability later. You can lose money while you're growing. Or, on the other side, if users were flat, but you were making more and more money per user, let's say people were using bits more, or watching more ads, or subscribing more. If you were getting revenue growth, that's great, that's fine. You don't have to grow the company as long as you're making more money. Twitch is doing neither. Twitch has flat users since 2021 and declining profits since 2021, which means the eye of Amazon is heavily upon them. Because not only is all of this down, again, this is which is current viewers in 2023, down from 2022, which is better than 21. COVID carried. And basically what I'm saying is, my experience from working at Twitch is that the management of Twitch didn't really understand their product. And they got lucky twice. They won the lottery twice. First, when Ninja played Fortnite with Drake. When that happened, it massively boosted Twitch's numbers. And there was a huge Fortnite explosion, and a lot of people got into Twitch, and it caused a big Twitch explosion. This was not a product Twitch did. Twitch did not help set this up. They did not make something new for it. This just got lucky, and this helped carry them for a whole year. And then right as that started to die, they got lucky again with a global pandemic that forced everyone into their homes to watch Twitch. Okay? These two things have carried Twitch for the past 4 to 5 years now, without them making any good products outside of maybe Clips. Clips is like the last big Twitch feature that actually helped anything. And so all of this is finally catching up to them, to the point where they have to figure out how are they going to keep this site growing, because really it just seems like unless they get lucky, this thing slowly trends down. What will happen next? I don't know, but I can tell you that Dan Clancy and the team at Twitch, if they won't say it, but are kind of hoping someone starts coughing in China pretty soon. They are hoping something happens to turn their fortunes around, because Amazon is getting more and more unhappy. Speaking of happiness, though, let's talk about a happy ending and give a win to Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods and Nike have parted ways after 27 years. And Nike gave a really nice going away post here. It was a hell of a round, Tiger. This may not seem that interesting to you, but if you look at it, it is, from a marketing POV, it is one of the single greatest brand-athlete pairings of all time. They created some of the best combinations. I mean, they promoted the sport of golf together on a massive level. And Tiger Woods, who has a net worth of $1.1 billion, made over half of that just from Nike. $40 million over 5 years in 1996. Then they renewed for $100 million over 5 years in 2001. Then they renewed for $240 million over 8 years in 2006. Then they renewed for $200 million over 10 years in 2014. He's been going back and forth with Nike for his entire career, 27 years, millions and millions and millions of dollars. And you'd think shoveling $500 million at him wouldn't be worth it for Nike, but it absolutely was. They profited even more than this. And there's just a both of them helping grow the sport, which is pretty cool. I looked over the long history of Tiger Woods and Nike commercials and decided this one was the best. This one was the all-time great. It's extremely simple. It's a one-take, unbroken shot of Tiger Woods doing something that, like, no one else could do.
That first elimination sends a clear message that it's
That's a beautiful ad. It's simple, beautiful, pure, down the cross, bad, flux. It's got millions of views from back 15 years ago. And all of that was incredibly beneficial for Nike Golf. But it was what he did when he wasn't in ads that was even better for Nike. This is why you pay him all the time, not just for the commercials. This moment was probably worth more for them than anything they've ever paid for.
There's a good chance he doesn't get this inside the month long.
Sucker for good marketing. I love that. So, you know, good for them. It's sick. Congrats on 27 years. I think the rumor is that he's leaving Nike to do his own thing. Tiger Made or something. To sell his own shit. As all influencers are doing now, they're making their own products. But it was a cool partnership while it lasted. I think it's cool. But speaking of good marketing, let's go to the Don Draper Down Under. You know what I'm saying? Because I've finally seen some good marketing out of our crazy friends in Australia. Didn't think it was possible. But I want to give the ad of the week to Australian Lamb for an ad that's got everybody talking on social media.
The Kingfish.
Good morning, Hermitown. It's a beautiful day to be 60 to 78 years young. Here's another golden oldie.
Your phone charge is on!
The phone charge is on.
Have a house.
Lovely.
Your phone charge is on.
Careful, Seymour. Watch out for the generation gap. I wonder how they're going now.
Gen sense. Just remember, we're the ones that invented your precious World Wide Web.
Oh, Seymour!
Oh, classic boomers, making the gap bigger.
They'd understand it, they just listen to us.
Yeah, season 1 was better.
Hey, do you think with the screen time it's adversely affecting our social skills?
No, it could be worse. We could be in our early 30s.
Nothing wrong with Black Riding!
Millennials are still cool, right?
Yeah!
So not slay. Are we saying slay now? Slay.
If we say it, it's cool.
Slay. Slay.
I just feel like no one pays attention to Gen X. We've got so much to...
I don't care what they do. It's not in my backyard. Hey, my backyard! This is their fault.
Don't look at us. We're literally perfect.
Typical young people. Everyone gets a trophy.
We were kids! You bought us the trophy!
Stop gaslighting us.
That's not what that means. Hands up. Hands up.
Let's see how the next half will play out.
The action is quite remarkable, and it's fascinating to think about how the
You know, when I was a kid, we'd have lamb...
Lamb barbecue? Lit. Well, at least we can agree on something. Generation gap. It's closing.
The lamb's getting closer.
I'm addicted to my phone as well!
Takeaway coffees could be hotter.
It's okay you spent $368 billion on submarines!
It was an impulse buy.
Being a young person in Australia must be difficult.
Being an old person must be pretty tricky too.
Not as much.
Probably. I'm sorry.
Well, it's a barbecue for the ages.
Who's that? Oh, it's John Howard. Who's that?
Good to have the country back together.
We weren't ever that far apart, sweetheart.
Anyway, as you can see, that ad's shareable. It's viral. It's funny. It's built for the internet, and it's cute. And you know what? It did really, really, really well. Got people talking. And so if you're the Australian Lamb marketing agency and you managed to get an ad that goes viral outside of Australia, you did something right. That's crazy. Because no one should care about this product. I shouldn't be watching their ad. This should be playing on some TV. Anyway, impressive. Good job. I give it a win. That's my marketing ad of the week. W. But the real winners were not any generation at all. The real winners of this past week were the lawyers. The ones you guys like. The lawyers won this past week because we had a whole fuck ton. Sorry, pardon my language. Edit that out. A whole bunch of lawsuits, including one of the largest AI lawsuits in history, as the New York Times openly accuses OpenAI of stealing all of their stories going back to the 1800s, basically like almost 200 years of stories, and using them as training data for what they're creating. And New York Times is one of the few organizations big enough, not a tech company, and getting ripped off by this, that can actually put some muscle behind this lawsuit. So there's like a lot of hope that this lawsuit can actually set some precedent, because not many people have the resources to do this. And they are suing OpenAI and Microsoft for billions of dollars, as they have found concrete evidence that you could ask the AI chatbot about recent topics, and it will just literally take stuff verbatim from their articles. So it's like they got proof of that before they went to the lawsuit, and it's pretty impressive, and will be a tough thing for Microsoft and OpenAI to counter. We'll see how that goes. They have pretty solid legal team. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Generate verbatim excerpts from New York Times articles. Again, and the New York Times stuff is behind a paywall, which means OpenAI is stealing. I mean, they're just stealing stuff that isn't even free. They're like taking stuff behind a paywall and then making it verbatim available. Which is like not allowed. I mean, it's like not really possible. So we will see how the lawsuit goes, but it's interesting. It's a very precedent-setting lawsuit. It's gonna, again, last year was kind of the year of unregulated AI expansion, tons of new entrants and startups and businesses, and people are companies are reacting quicker than they did to like streaming and other things like that. Companies are reacting pretty quick to try and figure out what this means for them and whether they're going to get disrupted by it. So, another big lawsuit was against Starbucks, which apparently is being called like a gotcha company with how, or like Chuck E. Cheese or whatever, with how they rig the payments in their app so you can never get to zero. The idea is that you can only add money to your Starbucks card in $10 increments, but there is no way to buy anything that leaves you with like a balance that you can never get down to zero. You always have like some weird odd number of things left. And so if you're like, okay, I have $7 left, I want to buy something. Let's say I want to buy 2 bagels or whatever. Then I end up with negative 51 cents, so I have to add another $10.
30 seconds left.
Do you understand? Like, it's just annoying. At the end of the day, you can go down to like $2 and forget about it. But if you want to get all of your money out, there's like no way to do it. There's no way to spend it all. And so, while that's not a major deal in the grand scheme of things, it's kind of generally annoying to a lot of people. So many people that Starbucks has $900 million just sitting in fallow accounts. That's like a free loan from consumers to Starbucks of $900 million. And so, at the end of the day, it's advertising. It's like people want that money back. Collectively, they want that money back. And that's what this lawsuit's gonna we'll follow up on this. We don't know how it's gonna go, but that is a major lawsuit this week. And then finally, a lawsuit victory. There was a class action lawsuit against Apple because they had been slowing down or weakening the batteries of old phones so you buy the new phones. They were just doing that. That's confirmed, and customers sued them and won in a class action. And so they're sending out checks. If you were part of this Batterygate lawsuit, you're going to get some sort of check over battery throttling. And this is just the beginning, because it's looking like the United States is getting closer and closer to doing a sweeping full antitrust case against Apple for basically locking down every single thing they do into their own ecosystem. So it's like very hard to use like Apple earbuds on a non-Apple phone. It's hard to use. You have to use Apple chargers, you have to use Apple dongles, you have to use Apple connections. If you have an Apple credit card account, you can never switch. Like anything you use, you're locked into one system. And so the United States is trying to break that up and make it more easy to have interoperability is the idea. So you can use just one of the pieces you want instead